welcome back to Dirt 5. If you're enjoying this series, any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like on the episodes, does help as well. And don't forget to ring the bell to not miss any content. Now today we have 4 races for you, but how many wins can we achieve? It's going to be a tough one. 4 different races. And we start with the Longhouse at Henningsvaer Reverse, Norway for an ultracross event. Soldierboy's in the car, and he is driving the Mini Cooper SXI of the RX Rallycross class. Let's see what he can do in the Mini Cooper. Now, usual start position from the back. Let's see if we can get through the cars quickly enough, because that's always a factor here. The quicker we get through the cars, the better. And starting off pretty good, to be fair. 8th place, 6th place now, right-hander, 4th place. So the grip is very, very difficult because of the snow. But this Mini Cooper does handle very, very well. Up the inside here, as we're going to take the lead. And is it all over already? 3 or 4 corners in and we're in first place. Soldierboy doing well, messing up the corner there badly, went in far too deep, didn't take the speed off enough and just managed to crash into the barrier, but still kept first place just. We are being challenged on the left hand side there. The right hander here drifting nicely, just staying out the barrier. Knee went a little bit too deep, but just managed to hold on. Left hander now, and the gap isn't really appearing. Normally once we get a lead, we can normally sustain it and gap everyone else, but it's not happening at the minute. Through this series of corners here, going too deep into that final one, and as we go across the bridge, we're just in first place, but it is extremely close behind. Left-hander, a little bit too deep again. We are making mistakes, which is never a good thing. But the left-hander here, and we're going to be overtaken. We've dropped down to 4th position there. We braked for the corner, maybe didn't need to brake as much as we did. Battling now with the other cars. We're going to take the left-hander, and this is the end of the first lap of 3, and we are going to finish it in first place, but it's a very tough course to kind of navigate and keep your lead. One mistake in the corners is going to allow everyone else to get back on you, but there is now a gap appearing a bit deep and slow into the corner there. That's going to allow them to catch back up a little bit from us behind. We have still got this gap though. If we can hold this gap, this win could be in the bag, and first race, first win is what we're after. Left hand here, drifting nicely, keeping the car moving as much as possible. Left hander again. Nicely through there. We made a mistake on that corner last time. This Mini Cooper is very quick. A little bit too deep into the corner, caught the back end on the barrier, but we have got a massive lead now. We've just got to get this series of corners that's coming up next. This is where we could be kind of slow in the last lap. Right hander, went through very well. Left hander, very, very deep again. That's a very slow exit. Right hander as well to finish off this section. And it's wide again. We're struggling through that section for some reason. I just can't get the Mini Cooper to turn the way I want it to. The sky has turned to night time as the night has drawn in. And what a beautiful view as we're driving along, I will say that. The northern lights there in the distance, that is an amazing view. Left-hander now. As we're about to approach the start of the final lap, that gap behind us has decreased. It is down to 1.1 seconds. We had a very, very scruffy last part of that lap. We now need to bring this through, and if we can, keep this lead and this gap. Now we've got a right-hander coming up here. We've gone off deep in the first lap here. We've gone deep again, hitting the barrier on exit. That's allowing the cars behind to catch us back up. This could be a very tricky end to this race. Left-hander here, taking that rather nicely. And we are 1.4 seconds ahead, so we've grown the gap by 0.3 of a second. Is it enough to hold on now? That corner wasn't too bad. Left-hander coming up here, we need to get this right. See the mini-map, they are catching. A little bit slow out the corner, I would have said. And this is the tough section we've struggled with in this car. Right-hander, followed by a very quick left-hander. Not too bad round there, maybe a bit slow on exit. Right-hander again. It wasn't too bad. Over the bridge. And the gap has increased to 1.7 seconds. We can keep this clean and tidy now for the end of this lap. I think it's in the bag. Small left-hander. I braked before there and lost a lot of time. We didn't that time. Sharp right-hander. Touching the barrier on the inside there. That was a mistake, but I think we're going to hold on. Left-hander now drifting nicely. Barrier, unfortunately, on exit. But we are going to cross the line in first place. And that is the first win of the first race in this episode. Not too bad. Mini Cooper, pretty good car, very quick, very good acceleration. I just kind of struggled to grip as much as I was expecting. I think some of the corners were extremely slow because of that, which is never a good thing. But we succeed, and that is 1 from 1. How many more can we get in this episode? That's the question. Confirmation of the result and our achievements for doing so. Reputation going up with Pepsi. Money coming in as well. So it's a bonus. We've got a lot of money in the bank. We need to start buying more cars. And that is it for the first race. So on to the next. It is in the rough, or the rough, at Lions Head, South Africa for a rally raid event. Soldierboy is back in the car once again after his winning start to the episode. He is driving the Brenthal Industries Class 1 Buggy of the Unlimited class. Now, can we make it 2 wins from 2? Unlimited cars, we've had a few issues with these. Normally the car we pick, the opposite car we should have used to win the race with. So this is the slower Buggy, the slower car of the Brenthal Industries. But I didn't think speed was needed. I thought we'd be better off with the ability to handle. So I kind of went for a handling version of the Brenthal Industries rather than the full-on 1,000 horsepower speed version. And it's not working to our advantage at this point. We are now in 12th place. Lost the position and dropped back to 12th. We are struggling to keep up with the cars ahead of us, which is a little bit of a worry. We need to try and get through these cars as quickly as possible. We have dove through the middle there, up to 9th place, 7th place very quickly. I think we've lost their bonnet or someone's lost something. We're 24% through this race already. We're in 7th place, choosing the right hand side of the choice section. 6th place now in the bag. We're up to 5th. Another car appears in front of us there. But I've got a feeling we've picked the wrong car here. We just haven't got the speed to keep up with these guys. I think going for handling may have been a bad decision here. Getting all out of sorts, then trying to keep it off the barriers but struggling. We'll drop back down to 6th, but we may take 5th here. We can hold it on. We can indeed. Up to 4th as well now. Right-hander there, getting a bit out of shape on the exit but holding it together nicely. You can see the raw speed of the cars behind us. They're just leaving us with dust. And we're really struggling to hold our position. 4th place currently, left-hander. 49, 50% through, halfway through the race we're in 4th place. 1st, 2nd and 3rd seem to have disappeared in the distance there. Very, very bad corner there. Nearly turned ourselves a complete 360. Luckily managed to hold it on, just not to do so. Got a bit pushed out here. There is a car on our tail trying to overtake us. And they have done so. We'll drop back to 5th place. You can see the difference in speed. We do get them on under braking in corners, but difference in speed is incredible. This is why I think I made a bad decision. Left-hander here, taking it nicely through the smoke. We've got a sharp left-hander coming up. Let's get this round. Very tight this corner as well. I'm glad the other cars didn't try and challenge us at this point. Another sharp left-hander coming up here as well. And again, this car is very, very good on its handling. Its cornering is brilliant, but it's the lack of outright speed that is causing us an issue, I think. Right-hander again, not too bad there. Well, left-hander coming up into the barrier, just couldn't get the speed taken off enough there. Slight left, going through the rocks here, struggling to see where the actual track is here. That was an issue I did find in some of the sections, just couldn't see the track. But we're going to go through this section and we're going to still be in 4th place. Cars are challenging us from behind. We're just doing enough to hold them off at the minute. And since this section seems to be a lot of cornering rather than straights, we were holding them off, but now we've got a car ahead down to 5th. Doesn't mean we can't still better ourselves here. We can still get 4th. We are very near the end of the race though. It's going to come down to straight line speed. We may just nick this. We have, and it's a 4th place finish. And the 2 cars that won is the cars that Wolverine would have chosen, the Gymcos. Slightly different, but they're still the Gymco nonetheless. I think Brenthal Industries were definitely not the car to have. I think Wolverine was right. We should have had the Gymcos. But lesson learnt. And unfortunately, we still only have 1 win out of 2 races so far. But it's Wolverine coming up next. Confirmation on the result and our points. XP going up and our reputation with Pepsi doesn't move. Don't know why that is, but we've got nothing for Pepsi. Money going up though. And no unlocks. So, the 3rd race in this episode is Trollslayer at Studalsvatnet Reverse, Norway for a Land Rush event. Wolverine is in the car and he has chosen to drive the WS Auto Racing Titan of the Formula Off-Road class. This is his favourite car. He's got some fantastic wins and some fantastic overtakes with this car. I personally can't stand it, but he loves this one. So off he goes, starting at the back as always. I think only once we started harder than last, to be fair. Up to 11th, a lot of the other cars are in the same vehicle he is, so that generally says they should be all matched on pace. So he has a chance here. He can take advantage in the corners. He's getting a bit held up by other cars. The problem with this car, I also find, is if your wheels get caught up on the other car's wheels, you're stuck. You lose so much speed and you just can't get going. But he's got to now catch up. He's got a bit of a gap ahead of him. He's lost a bit of time battling with the cars at the back. Into 11th place currently. He should catch up in the corner here. Round the outside. What an audacious move that is, but doesn't really manage to pull off any overtakes, but does a little cut back there and gains 10th. Now trying to make his way through the pack. 9th place currently, over the bumps. And the other car on the left hand side seems to get a better run through the bumps then. Does take 10th back. Back up to 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. That was a lovely overtake there. Using the cars to have him brake admittedly, but he's still got the move done. He's in 6th place currently. First place and second place are just a little bit up ahead. We can just make them out, but we can still try and catch a podium here. Up to 4th place, a nice little overtake on the inside. Left-hander here, he's taking it very tight as he hits second place there and slows them down. He'll probably taking a wider line. Right-hander now, trying to drift it around, but getting caught up in the car ahead, that will slow him down as well. Finishing the first lap of 3, he is in 4th place. Couldn't get the car to straighten up there, so lost the positions because of the bash onto the barrier. 6th place now currently. Up the inside of 2 cars here, but too deep into the corner. Just didn't scrub enough speed off in time. Could have been a lovely overtake if he had. 6th place as it is. Left-hander now, trying to go around the outside, but really not struggling to get an exit there. Couldn't get the car to go forward. Really struggled to speed, and the gap has now appeared to the cars ahead. So 5th to 1st, have quite a big gap now on Wolverine, although he does catch him up in the braking zone, i.e. here. And he may take 5th place if he can keep out the wheels of the other car. He may hold on to 5th here. He has gained 5th. Has he got the run through the bumps? He lost out a position here last time because another car got a better run than he did. He's just held on this time. Right-hander now as the snow is coming down. He's going to take 4th place away. And he's now in 4th. And I think he's definitely gained on the top 3. So a very poor exit there out of that corner. Went too deep. That's going to cost him some time. Trying to keep tight to the right-hander here. But again, into the barrier. This car does struggle to turn. And it's one of my biggest issues with this car. He seems to enjoy it, but I just can't get the car to work for myself. So far, he's in 7th place. He does some lovely overtakes. There's a few mistakes into the barriers. Haven't really helped him. He's now caught up on the car ahead, so he's got no speed. He's going to drop down as low as 10th place now. Last lap for the beginning. He's going to make some time up in some positions up here if he's going to gain anything out of the race. Currently up the inside. Into 5th, too deep again though. Can he get an exit? Not really. 9th place, I think he gained 1 out of that because of that. I wouldn't say his driving's been bad. I will say the car struggles to turn. He prefers that, I don't. But you've seen a lot of that in some of the corners. It just doesn't want to make the turn. That's an issue. 10th place currently. He's still got a chance to gain a few positions here. I think a win is out of the question. But he can still gain a podium. Although our podium's probably out now. There is quite a bit of gap to the cars ahead now. He's currently in 9th place. Let's see how high he can finish. Over the bumps this time. Can he get a better run than before? He's always struggled over the bumps for some reason. Trying to make a path through the middle. Got to stay away from the car ahead because that will slow him down considerably in the corner. Currently in 8th place. He needs an exit. I think he's just about got one. He's in 7th now. 6th. Can he get it round? No. Again too deep. Couldn't get the car to turn enough. He loses position. And he hits the rocks there. Slows him down. Currently in 7th place. He's still got a chance to make some positions up here. He has up to 5th, but too deep into the corner. He's going to lose a position or 2, but he's back in the 5th very quickly there. I think he's done okay. This is the final corner. He's lost the position. Can he gain it back? Not quite. No. 6th place finish. He was so close to 5th. I personally have been trying to convince him to change the car and try something different, but he is obsessed with that car and thinks that's the best thing since sliced bread. So he's not going to change, unfortunately. But everyone else is in the same car, near enough. So he definitely had the choice, but it was just, you get caught up so easily and it struggles to turn. But a 6th place there, you can see confirmation and some XP coming in. He gains reputation with Pepsi and levels him up to level 10. Once we get to 15, we'll change sponsor. Money coming in as well. Still a good race, to be fair. He did really well. And I think 6th place thoroughly deserved. Now, the final race of this episode is the Dust Bowl at East Mitten Reverse, Arizona for a sprint race. Wolverine is seeing us out and he's driving the Volkswagen Beetle Rallycross of the RX Rallycross class. You may have just seen that little bit there. It's just because I was trying to figure out what class of car the Mini Cooper was. So I kind of skipped over it a bit too quickly. So the Dust Bowl at East Mitten Reverse Arizona for sprint race. This race is 10 laps. It is the longest sprint race we've done to date. But luckily it's not in sprint cars, and Wolverine is in the Volkswagen Beetle Rallycross because he actually really likes this car. But starting low down, he's got to try and make gaps through the traffic very quickly, I think. Because even though it's 10 laps, it is a very quick lap, as most sprint races are in these ovals. He's already up to third, as he's coming to the end of the first lap, dropping down to fourth, fifth. I think I may have done it in fourth place at the end of his first lap, but he's now up to second on the second lap, dropping down again to third. Round the insides, keeping the tight line to the inside there. Too much speed on the exit though, and does lose a bit of time. He's currently in third again though, across the line. He's not doing badly at all on this. If this was a sprint car, he would be nowhere near this point, because they are horrible to drive. But third place currently dropping down to fourth for a little while, up to second, back up to second, as he comes through the home straight again, as we start the beginning of lap 4. It's very quick and fast and furious. He needs to get past first place soon, I think, if he's going to have a chance of winning this and adding to our tally for this episode. We currently stand at 1 win from 3 races, which isn't very good. Wolverine could increase that to 50% win rating, hopefully. In the first place, drifting it nicely, trying to get the speed down early, may have been a bit early there, and that caused the car to go out a little bit more than he wanted to. Drifting nicely, keeping a tight line. The computer or the AI cars favour an outer line. Wolverine is favouring more than an inner line as he's drifting around the corners. It gives him time to drift out like that. If he does oversteer, at least the drift allows room to travel out rather than hitting the barrier. So I think he's definitely got the actual technique down. As we're ending the 6th lap, we're in first place. The gap is not much. It is very close behind. Barrier there, that's going to cost him some time, and there's a car up the inside. Take first place away from him. Coming in second, he's going to nip up the inside here if he can. Forces his way through, getting the elbows out. And he's going to finish the 7th lap in first place. 3 laps to go. He's got to hold on to his first place now. One car is causing them difficulty. They've both gapped the cars behind them, but that little barrier incident there has let the other cars catch up. He needs to get something here. We're running out of laps. It's going to be very close if he can win this. Third place now to finish the 8th lap. Start the penultimate. Up the inside. Can he take second place back? He can. Can he gain on first place? This is going to be very tight. Final corner of lap 9. And he's up the inside into first place. Will he start the final lap in the lead? Not quite. Second place as we begin the final lap. Up the inside, drifting nicely here. He's got to be perfect on his drifts now if we want to win this race. First place, one final corner to go on this oval as he hits the home straight in a second. Can he get round? Can. It's going to be a race for the line. Can he do it? Wolverine can. And that is their second victory of the episode. 2 wins out of 4 races. 50% win record. I don't think that's too bad. And Wolverine doing a fantastic job in the Beetle Rallycross. Fantastic result. There were times I thought he'd messed it up, but he came good in the end. He definitely favoured the inside line, which I liked, to leave him room to drift more than normal. And a fantastic result for him. 10 laps in 2 minutes and 51 seconds. It's a quick race, admittedly. More reputation increase as well for Pepsi, up to level 11 now. And we've got the financial rewards as well. There we go, and he has unlocked some liveries and some patterns as well, actually, to be fair. We don't really use the patterns. That's normally when you create your own livery, and we don't really use them. Player cards, stickers. Other than changing the lanyard once for the trophy, we're not really worried about it. And that is the episode done, I'm afraid. We are out of time for today. 2 victories out of 4 races, 50% win record. Pretty happy with that. Next episode, we'll have another 4 races for you. And if you are enjoying this series or any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. A like on the episodes does help. And ring that bell to not miss any episodes of any of our content. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you next time with more Dirt 5.